Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name remains Alexis Omian, aka Oriman in Canada. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Oriman in Canada. Kindly like, share, and comment. As you do so, God will bless you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. So today I want to talk about this Sterling Global. This Sterling Global is oil and gas company owned by India. And where did they operate? They operate for Kwale in Delta State. You understand? So the news about that company not be today. The news about that company. You say one thing about these Indians and Chinese. Anywhere the company get contract where they operate, 99% of their employees will be either Indians or Chinese. Like this very Sterling Global. So about 99% of their workers now Indians. Then they employ Nigeria. Even up to the job of cleaner. Now Indians. You understand? Not be only Sterling Global. This problem now what they talk now, what they bring out now, where they bring out so. Not be only Sterling Global. Put Dangote. When I was in Dangote, now so it be. But roughly 99% of the managerial position for Dangote now Indians now occupy them. And one thing about these Indians, the moment they bring one person as manager, you know, we're going to employ anybody again. Now, all the people, now they bring the come with different corrupt ways. You understand? And this problem, now not really, why the Indians feel they capitalize on this, now because of the corruption in our system. That's why in Dangote, I just say, our immigration, they collect about 700,000 naira to bring one Indian. Now, so they keep them our visa, when they say they pack them. Even we people with the Nigerians for the projects, India many pass us. Indians, we are using about 6 buses that time, this coastal bus. When we Nigerians, they use about 4. So that the same thing, the same pattern that they use for this Sterling Global now, oil and gas. When about 99% of their workers now Indians. And if you look at those ones, so they're not qualify you. I beg you now, that Sterling Global, they should ask all those Indians, all of them, what do they work for, where they bring come from India, what they send, make them bring their credentials, make them screen them, make you know whether they qualify. They're not qualified. Even with Dangote, some of the managers for Dangote service, they don't even know their job. They don't even know their work. You understand? So that time when you carry somebody who will say he go technical school for India, we not even know anything, you can't come make manager. When somebody will say he read structural engineering, master's degree in UK, you can't put them under in Nigeria, you can't put them under India, man will say he go technical school. India will say they don't even know anything. India are not intelligent than us. Indians and the now so they be everywhere, even Canada will do so. Canada, anywhere one Indian day, say you make a manager. You not going to employ any other tribe again, any other national again. Only their people. Only their people that they employ. So this matter now, not only Sterling Global a day. This when you say India, say about 99%, then they employ Nigeria. But they cook everything, control work with Nigeria. This oil and gas, Nigeria don't they grounded in oil and gas. Nigeria don't they grounded in oil and gas. When my dad was alive, my dad was a driller, a senior driller. My dad, if they mobilize Nigerian workers for share those days, they go drill. Only Nigerians, they go drill well everything, achieve their result everything, without expatriate. Even when I work with Julius Berger, how many expatriate take Julius Berger? Expatriate for Julius Berger not the 3%. All the rest are Nigerians. There's no work. It is in that oil and gas work. Where you see Nigeria, for the world, they rank them among this is the Nigeria oil and gas workers. They rank them among the best because Nigerians, they from Nigeria, they get work. They go Dubai, they go different part of the world. They go work in the oil and gas sector. So I'm not saying this way we say the oil and gas sector, they go pack expatriate come. What the expatriate come? All those Indians, they are not expatriate. They should go and investigate them. What do you make them be like that? Why we say be like that? We say now the corruption in Nigeria system. Indians, you feel go. What is Indian? You want to tell it global. What did they do for Nigeria? So they can in Nigeria go to India to do that kind of thing. When they say maybe you get contract or maybe you go invest for India, then it can't be saying now only Nigeria say you pack, go for the company, go work. Your future for India. That's it be anywhere India still always be. Even Canada what we do. Immediately you just bring one as manager, bam, that will, because they are very corrupt. Indians, they are very corrupt. There's no way no fit break through with corruption. So those corrupt Nigerians, so the Minister of whether na internal affair, I don't know, internal affair, where they give them, they approve those this thing for them. Now money, now so they be for Dangote that time with immigration, those stuff. Where did they give them money? That's so they bring them, both qualified. That time, there was one guy who say, if you work with me, one Indian, when the guy read physics. Somebody that read physics, will be physics station, you bring a come, he can't be civil engineering manager. That time, that's so many the man they get problem because you don't even understand anything about civil. Now so many they get problem. Seriously, when I did Dangote, I was having problem with many of the managers because they don't even know their left from the right. They bring the come, put them for big position, so they be civil engineering manager. See what is happening in Stanley Global. That will tell you the way our country don't rotting. You understand? If you go Shell, go Seplat, go all those other oil company, Egypt, 95% of the workers there, both managers, everything, the operators, everything, na Nigerians. And they deliver. They deliver. So that's what I want for with India and Chinese. This Indian and Chinese company, that's what they do. Any company they get, they give their plan Nigeria. But they won't play Nigeria themselves. They won't play Nigeria na cleaner. And work will not be relevant. Then they go use Nigeria. They don't go bring them to the real technical work. And the worker will still know how. So that's the problem. Like this matter now, with this Sterling Global, they should take it seriously. Those Indians, when they pack food there, they don't know anything. They don't know, they are not qualified. That's how Indians they be. Anywhere they just get job like this, they go corrupt the place. Because they don't see Nigerian officials, they are very corrupt. They go bribe them. When they go bribe them, they go from there until they pack their people. They pack their people, they come. That's so they pack their people, they come. Nigerians, they don't go there Nigerians. That time I did Dangote, Nigeria company, will be say get the expertise, everything. They go apply for contracts with the Indian company, all those stuff. Before you know it happen, the Indian people, because in India they are the managers, they will not give the contract to India company. And this India company did the contract, so they don't know the work. They later go sublet that contract now to a Nigeria company. Now say they take it down for Dangote. So Nigeria system, you can't go to India and try that kind of thing. You can't go India. Nigeria, they say no work, no employment. People are suffering all those things. We get graduate first class, all of them, they roam the streets. India, so say they don't know anything. We say their country, you cannot go to their country and also. No, you cannot go to India and get a cleaner job. No, nobody say to them say you come up for say you come up for Nigeria, say they go India. Then you go India, say you go get work. Nowhere. No, it's not possible. India, I say they be anywhere they enter. Now so they be before you know, just make one manager before you know, you know, we take anybody. Now so it be for you now, Canada. The moment India na manager for anywhere India be manager, then they take another person again. They cannot hire any other person apart from them. Before you know, they can't dominate everywhere. With even skill, they never get the skill, nothing. So this now very serious matter. Not be like Sterling Global, the thing, the India's food. Not be like Sterling Global. Also with Dangote, all the managers, about 95% of the managers, where they Dangote, now Indians. When we do our construction job, when they build the refinery, even the fertilizer, go there, you see, even the companies, contracting companies, Nigerian company will bid for job, for contract. They're not going to give them. They will give India company. That India company, when they will give the contract, now they'll later go sublet the job to Nigeria because to Nigeria company because they not get the expertise to do the work. So this is not a good thing. The issue is that they have to sanitize Nigeria. Nigeria is a very great country. You understand? The law, the other states where they see this law, expatriates get quota for air and gas. Expatriates, they get quota. So that's still global. So that India company, when they basically take Nigeria, so they should re-investigate and make sure say they deal with them seriously. You understand? All those unqualified Indian workers when they bring come, all those they should send them back immediately. They should send them back. That's what they be. Both Chinese and Chinese still be. They should send them back immediately. Oil and gas sector, Nigeria will get re-experienced, skilled professionals in the oil and gas sector. We say they can deliver anytime, any day. So those Indians, when they say they pack home, they should please send them back. They should please send them back to their country. Now the truth, we will not get job for our country. The few also will get. Let us put our people, make them for field manager. So thank you very much. So you will watch the video for sure and make you see what the TUC chairman talk. So thank you. Subscribe to my channel.
in the oil and gas sector. It's a very critical sector given the role it plays in our economy. Well, we saw a video the other day where the TUC president was raising concern about a particular IOC that, in their words, in allegations, saying, look, the way they are treating Nigerians is unacceptable by any stretch of imagination. So I decided to bring him to the studio to maybe expatiate as to what this means. Mr. Festus Osifo is the president of the Trade Union Congress. He joins us via Zoom. Mr. Osifo, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey. Good evening to you. Good evening to our viewers.
So, Mr. Osifo, we're going to use the oil industry we're going to piggyback on the oil industry to talk about the other industries as much as possible. But that is the space you play in. I saw that video online and I had to watch what you were saying. But for the benefit of the persons who haven't heard what you were talking about, who haven't even seen, doesn't even understand what I'm talking about, what exactly is this issue really all about? Because part of what you said, if I heard you correctly, is to say, if this organization doesn't do something drastically quickly, well, Penderson will mobilize and industrial action may be looming. Mr. Osifo.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey. In the oil and gas industry, this is one industry that is highly regulated. This is one industry that has come of age. As you could recall, we started carrying out exploration and exploitation of oil over 60 years ago in Nigeria. So when this industry started, it was well dominated by expatriates because it was said as at then that Nigerians doesn't have the expertise to explore the crude. And over the years, all other IOCs, talking about Total Energies, talking about Shell, talking about Chevron, talking about Ajib, and so on, over these years, a lot of the activities in these companies have been carried out by Nigerians. A company like Shell, for example, the MD for a very long time has been in Nigeria. Ajib, that Owando just bought, is being manned by Nigerians. In fact, there is no single expatriate today in Ajib. All their operations, from reservoir engineering to production, to processing, to plant operations, are all manned by Nigerians. And the same thing as well, if you come to Total Energies, 99% of the operations of Total Energies are carried out by Nigerians. The same thing in Chevron, the same thing in ExxonMobil, and even Seplat. But there is a particular company, Jeffrey, that is called Sterling. Today, in Sterling, all the operations in Sterling are carried out by India. If you go to the operations room, the control room in Sterling, it will amaze you to note that there is no single Nigerian in the control room in Sterling. They are all Indians. So as of today, from our head count, we have over 10,000 Indians that are working in Sterling. How do they achieve this? What they do is this. They will register over 100 to 200 different companies. They will use them to start bring them in one after the other, and all of them are going to accumulate in Sterling. So that has been the challenge. So we did a study, we did the head count, and we realized that no, these numbers are too much across all operations, even up to communication. If you come to the communication department, the head of the communication, the deputy head, all of them, their communication department, it's Indian. You know how we even knew about the communication? After we did that rally and the protest, it was a journalist like you that wanted to balance the information and sent a note to them that's telling, oh, this is what Pengasan is saying. We want you to react. They said, okay, this is a statement. They said, okay, no, somebody should sign it. They confessed to them that everybody in the department, that if they sign it, that they are all Indians, that there is no Nigerian to sign it. So they don't want to justify what we were saying. This was confirmed to me by a particular journalist. So that clearly shows that this is what has been happening. Jeffrey, all we've been saying is that in a country where we don't have jobs, in a country where graduates are strolling around the streets, you are bringing Indians to do jobs that are not technical. It will amaze you to note that jobs like vulcanizers, jobs like gate men, even cooks that are cooking Nigerian food, they are Indians. It is that bad. So all we are saying is that these companies they have violated all Nigerian rules, all Nigerian laws, and that they must send these people packing. And we are very serious about this. We have Nigerians that are doing this job. Jeffrey, Sterling, their operations is not even as complicated as the deep offshore operations that Shell is doing in Dunga, that is manned by all Nigerians. Their operations are not as complex as Agbami of Chevron, manned by Nigerians, or Akpo or Ejina of Total, that is manned by Nigerians.
So, Mr. Sifo,
that is the color.
Mr. Sifo, so they're not here, and I hope they are going to respond somehow, one way or the other, to these issues you've raised and some of the allegations you've raised. The company, where do they operate in Nigeria, and do the authorities, the regulator, who is supposed to regulate these activities, is it the NMDPRA or NUPROC? Because there's no way this can happen without some institutional complicity or awareness. I don't know, just help us out here.
Yes. So first, this company, their major operation as of today is around the Niger Delta. They are majorly situated in Kwale. So most of their productions happen around the Kwale area. So they will do batching, and from there they will transfer it to their terminals. Yes, they operate in the upstream majorly. And in the upstream, it ought to be regulated by NUPROC. And NUPROC regulating it. You also have NCDNB, the Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board. They are the ones who ought to give expatriate quota when it comes to the oil and gas. So from our findings, we have engaged these regulators. We have engaged the NUPROC. We have also had interaction with the leadership or the management of NCDNB. This was what they told us. NCDNB said last year that they only gave 3 expatriate quota to these people. But that what they do, I mean, from our findings, we now went to Ministry of Interior. What we discover is that people are doing this as business. So, in oil and gas, NCDNB is supposed to give the quota, the allocation, but they will circumvent the process. Maybe because they felt that NCDNB is stricter, they will circumvent the process, they will go to the Ministry of Interior and go and obtain that quota. And every single application that they have submitted to Ministry of Interior has been approved. So, that is where the conundrum actually is. So they are circumventing the process, shunting the NCDNB and going to the Ministry of Interior. It's actually the Ministry of Interior that gives them the quota. And that is the challenge that we are having today.
All right. So I know just now, as you said, and I remember that I have heard a report of the Sterling Company, and I hope they will respond at some point, whether an official statement or something, about their activities in Akwa Ibom, Eastern Obolo, where the governor, I understand, has set up a tripartite committee because of what is going on. I understand they were supposed to occupy 1,000 hectares and leave 700 hectares for buffer area, but they've cleared, and they're accusing them of land grabbing, closing creeks, and all of that. I don't know whether you're aware of that, what they perhaps you guys are also doing to that effect, but beyond what they are doing, is this just them that are practicing this on this particular illegality, if you will, or there are other companies you've also found out in the oil and gas industry that are doing same? What I mean by doing same, registering companies and bringing their own people, short-chaining us in the process.
Yes, Geoffrey, I have been, by the grace of God, the president of Pengasan for 5 years. And I've worked in Total Energies upstream for almost 2 decades now. So all my working career, I've been in the upstream industry of the oil and gas industry. So I have traversed different platforms. Jeffrey, there is no company today that is doing 1/10 of up to what Sterling is doing. I've been to a lot of locations in Egypt. I've been to locations manned by Chevron. I've been to locations manned by ExxonMobil. Of course, I work for Total Energies. I've crisscrossed the entire platforms of Total Energies. You will not see anything that is 10% close to what Sterling is doing today. Jeffrey, you are in Lagos. One of these evenings, I challenge you, just take a stroll to Etim Ian Crescent. 80 million Christians in Victoria Island, just around Moriokola. Just take a stroll there in the evening. Then just do the head count of the Indians that you are seeing trooping in and trooping out. I will tell you that if you take a particular sample, within 1 hour, you are going to count over 500 Indians. So the challenge we are having is this, Jeffrey. In the NCDMB Act, it's clearly stated that no foreigner, no expatriate is supposed to do the job that Nigerians are doing. It's stated there. It's even stated that even if Nigerians cannot do that job, and you bring in expatriate to do it, that there must be Nigerians that will understudy that expatriate so that within 3 years, they will not transfer.
Mr. Sifo, no, because now that you've mentioned it, I have some reports about the activities I mentioned in Akwa Ibom, in their eastern and all of that, whether it's their exploration or the one they're building in terms of petrochemical company and fertilizer and all of that. But what I want you to speak to, and I want you to stay on it for a bit, it's a different thing for someone to come in. I find someone in my house without my permission. How did the person get into my house? You're supposed to use the door, which is the legal route to enter my house. So if I find you, I open my house and I find you, you're going to answer questions. Why I use the analogy is this. They couldn't have been doing what they are doing without some collaboration with the Nigerian authority one way or the other. So who should we be hammering on? Should it be Sterling Global, who you have alleged to carry out this illegality, or the Nigerian authority that is supposed to check them?
Yes, Sterling, Jeffrey, our job as union is a bit difficult in Nigeria because our institutions are weak. Sterling, if you go to a place like Ghana, if you go to a place like Angola, I can assure you that this cannot happen. So, for us, first, Sterling has circumvented our process, number one. Then number two, I just said earlier that most of their quotas from our findings are coming from the Ministry of Interiors. That is where they give them a lot of this expatriate quota without following the rules. So we are holding accountable Ministry of Interior. We are also holding accountable Sterling on their own. But again, we are going to have a meeting on Tuesday. We have also called on the regulator that it is not sufficient for you to just tell us that, oh no, it is the Ministry of Interior that is giving them quota. You have a responsibility in law. You have a responsibility to Nigerians to be able to go
now,
to
people is talking.
So we have a responsibility to Nigerians to be you have a responsibility to Nigerians to be able to go to their platforms and carry out monitoring. So that is why we have been engaging AUPROC, we have been engaging NCDMB to tell them that you shouldn't just fold your arm. It is your responsibility to carry out monitoring across those platforms. We have raised an alarm, Jeffrey. We have said, we have challenged them that in all their production platforms, that in all their control rooms, that they are all manned by India. It's a challenge from us. So what we now expect the regulators to do, NCDMB, NUPROC, and in the case of gas, NMDPROE in their midstream, what we expect them to do is to now say, okay, let's go to their platform. We are ready. We are ready tomorrow morning to go to Kwale with the regulators and enter into the control room of these people. They are all Indians. See, the numbers are humongous. It is, we're not talking about 500, 600, 700. Their production is just less than 100,000 barrels per day. We have companies that are producing up to 300,000 barrels per day, and their operations up to 95 to 98% are manned by Nigeria. But just this one that they are producing less than 100,000 barrels, their operations are largely manned by India. So for us, Sterling is culpable, Ministry of Interior are culpable, then the regulators, they must be up in arm with their task. Even if Sterling go to Ministry of Interior and obtain expatriate quota, it is a function of NCDMB to come out and say, no, yes, you have gone there, but we are the ones. These are the rules. These are the laws. This particular job that you are doing, the processing, petroleum processing, for example, the control room operations are not supposed to be manned by India. Jeffrey, a secondary school leaver Somebody who has 5 credits, who did physics and chemistry in secondary school, can be trained to man control room and carry out the functions effectively. These are not rocket science. It is done in other companies. So what is quite different in Sterling? So outside that as well, another issue we have with them is about the welfare of our members. If you go to Sterling, 90% of the Nigerians are now working in Sterling are all contracted personnel. So they bring in Indians to man all critical positions. Then the Nigerians that they manage to hire to do other menial jobs are all contracted personnel. We have rules. This is not a banana republic. We have rules in Nigeria, and our rules must be obeyed.
So what we expect is a response from NCDMB, NUPRC, NNDPRA, Ministry of Interior that you've mentioned, and especially Sterling Global, which you've also mentioned, because I've heard their name a couple of places, and it's important they respond to some of these allegations. But in leaving this issue, because I wanted you to use it as to talk about every other maybe IOC in the industry. But how do we manage these situations such that it's not going to be perceived as Nigeria being hostile to investment now that we're looking for investors everywhere?
No, Jeffrey, it is not about being hostile to investment. As I have said, the 5 companies I mentioned earlier, Chevron, Total Energies, Shell, Ajit, now Owando, and ExxonMobil, that Seplat bought their JV operations. These 5 companies are responsible for producing about 90% of our crude oil production. You see that figure, you people analyze on a monthly basis that is being released by OPEC and NUPRC. These 5 companies produce up to 90%. But if you go to these 5 companies, Jeffrey, you are not going to see 1/10 of a number combined. If you add their total number of expatriates in these 5 companies, it is not up to 1/10 of the expatriates that you have in Sterling. Jeffrey, we have done our analysis. Most of these people, there are some things I may not want to say on national television. Most of these people, they are people that grossly are not qualified. Some of them did not even finish secondary school. Some of them they don't have any skill whatsoever. But they bring them in and turn them into this country. Go and do your check. You can check from immigration, Jeffrey. I know that you do a lot of investigative journalism. If you check from immigration, you see that every Tuesday, we have close to 600 or 700 Indians that are coming to Nigeria through the various borders, and they are moved to Kwale. Some are coming in, some are going out. That's when they do their crew change. So it is that terrible. So if we have 5 IOCs that have operated since 1950s and 60s, and these 5 IOCs, the total number of expatriates in these IOCs combined is not up to 1/10 of the expatriates that you have in Sterling Oil. Then what that means clearly is that it is not because of lack of competence. What that means clearly is not because Nigerians don't have the wherewithal. I could tell you that today, like as I said earlier, the managing director of Shell, the biggest oil company in Nigeria, is not by Nigerians. For several years. So for us, we want investment in the oil and gas industry, clearly. But if you want to invest, we have rules. Jeffrey, you've analyzed the PIA over time. PIA has spelled out the rules and the rule of engagement. We have the NCDMB Act. It has clearly spelled out the rule of engagement. So if you want to invest in Nigeria, you are welcome. But you must play in accordance with these rules, because Nigerians are out there looking for jobs. So for us, we are very determined to push this to the end. So that on this they are not bigger than Nigerian rules and Nigerian laws. Yeah.
So final on this particular issue, if nothing is done, is TUC going on strike? What is the next line of action to enforce what you believe is the right thing to do?
Yes, for us, it's very clear. We are having a meeting on Tuesday. A meeting is being called 3 p.m. on Tuesday by the Austrian regulator NUPRC. As of today, we don't have any doubt to doubt the competency and the transparency of engineer Gbenga Komolafe. He has intervened in a lot of issues and he has been able to resolve it. We believe at the meeting of Tuesday, we go a long way in resolving these issues. But if this issue is not resolved, Jeffrey, Pengasan will embark on a national strike. It is an issue that we strongly believe in. Our neck in Pengasan has given us a marching order, and that this issue must be resolved, and no matter the means of resolving it. So if we cannot resolve it within a specific time frame, Pengasan will be going, will be calling out its members on national strike. And remember, Pengasan, we have over 90% of our members are involved in the operations in the upstream of the oil and gas industry. So, government, we are calling government to take this issue very, very seriously. In fact, we are even helping government. There is nowhere in the world that this can happen, Jeffrey. I've worked in Angola, I've worked in Congo, I've worked in Gabon, I've worked in Aberdeen, I've worked in several countries. This cannot happen. So all we are saying is that government who wants to generate jobs for its citizens, government who are looking, the last time president came out, 774 jobs granted them, we were celebrating. But I will tell you that in sterling alone, we can generate even times 5 times 6 of such jobs that Nigerians can clearly do.
All right. So as I said, I'm hoping they will have something to say. I've listed everybody that has an answer, from agencies of government to the Ministry of Interior, down to Sterling Global themselves, because I've got some information as well. But let's move on to some other things I needed you to intervene on before.